The thought we muster for a real man never occurred to me that the masses outside my writing know more than they should. To make things worse, other people know not to tell back time, as time is essence. Making that the number one priority that has to be done. Even in times of peril, we seek refuge to know what we know now. We don't stand a chance. If the unorthodox power has to climb, is Jason's way of doing it, make matters worst and worst. That tie down time as we speak. Not until we rue this day. We hope never to reach a climax all on our own. Without a care for self and right mind, they muster thoughts. As a tango is to the next chapter. Today I rue things as I'm an unorthodox person, on so many levels at that. I think a game has to have some climax, without a heaping helping of gratitude. Never do we muster pass and over our limits. But cognitive function begs to differ. In our right mind I fathom love and stuff bought on the plate. Making a nice gesture in the name of the Almighty? Never even known how life chooses spouse for us. That I rue she never loved me. The one thing about arranged marriages, they outlast the whole love regime. That's never me. On so many levels I have a son who's called Photopath. Just call him Pat. And he knows not to trifle in vanity's affair at a young age. That's the way we move on. Feeling love for another is out of pure thought process. When the woman runs out of love. Not that I don't value anything, above all else, it fails. To make matters worse, I was at my uncle's chambers. This is back in 2021, and she told me. While on the phone, my mom pushed me off to Cambodia to talk to her. And that's vanity's affair for the safe well-being of my son. Has to offer. To mark his life now, he's 10, it's the year 2026, and I'm writing this out as an excuse. To never fall head over heels in love wasn't the game at hand. Getting out of one wife, now I seek refuge under another. Under the regime that love doesn't come back. Love is not for pity, says her my wife Noi, and that's to annoy you. Nothing is big off the chance to strike a lightning reaction. Out of quantum physics enough, we value other things. The reason I got held up again, I value stuff onto the plate. It's what life governs, that you are who you claim. We take center of our own thoughts, collective mind, process. They provided me since my marriage in 2015, who's my mom. I had to offer was money, save up on groceries, and the likes. She thinks my mom was babying me. And I don't do stuff. It would have count the day I had my son in 2016, marking the now already 10 he is. As I bought Similac to feed his belly. All gone. Now fast asleep. In 2018 I already left for Cambodia. But I get to see him again? Now to talk of love, he's the soul of Heimlock and made me the soul of Heimsam. Enough preach, and the subconscious knows which woman I should have hooked up with. To rue this day, things got better yet. But the love of my son was never there with him. Now on to the pressing matter with Paulina. I joke in earnest with the likes of stuff I value, not bought onto the G table. Not to get it confused with, my life has little value or hope and meaning. The change that is to never care about love or life. That's nothing from everyone, we don't fathom to stay by us or our side. To make matters worst, you think? No, things are looking up, I swear. The way we picture things, it's come onto fate to decide the righteous act on accord for treason. To no one in their right mind have to wonder about consequences long for it to matter. Not long did I preach for a day for God to rue, we don't have a say in the matter. I was condemned once by gods? Starting out with never choosing who you become if the stakes are set high. Never judge a cowrie snail that has real man now. Wishful thinking does not mean desperate in times, we need to not falter. To get an edge towards reawakening who we are? And leave things up to fate to decide as offing. The day I led lives I govern on to other people. to more we realize it has come to fruit. Enough about lost love. But, we have this day to rue out, not rule out. And the tempting pressing matter is, I must marry my childhood sweetheart. I never said you think? With love life you must alter the fabric of time and shape it. And brush things to no one ever. And keep up with life long, before it's past due. The matter is pressing not only, doubt will shroud you. It makes you who you are. The moral is no one even has a life we lead to exile away in Cambodia. That's nothing I have, nothing or will I, have something, to do. The urgent pressing matter is the prophecy that's leading down, by whim, or the gods up above. The more things led lives for counting in the grand schemes. There's nothing to tell back who you are and govern for, the sole proprietor of ridiculing others. That's the things we thought meant salvation. And enough talk I mention I'm in love with her, throughout I'm writing this. Paulina. To make it to her sight and never fathom others, come in the way of that. No one has to care. The 3 days with Paulina at LATTC is not 3 days of community college. The thing is we have each other. I walked to her. I know she knows the other girl Lizzie. By my memory of me the old Polly. I know there's Lynette and Myra, both of them said they like me. But Paulina doesn't pal around with them anymore. That was before back from West Covina I knew and I had her in elementary Logan Street School, Logan Lions. And it was without a doubt she knew me. I was her hall monitor that, she acts like, the first lady. Without a second guess she said, what do you think about the school, Polly? I think, it looks like play, dough. I didn't tell her, you think. I knew it, he's too substance now, she says in her thought process. What happened to the free-spirited, Polly? That's okay. That's not what I said. And she continues, I'm an emo girl for a reason, I love that. On my molt phase. It my turn I said, you look cute, no I'm kidding. It's actually, I love to get to know you better, in case I never get this chance. I said, in my head. Never knew you were into me, I said in my head, again. And there was a calm sound. Come back tomorrow and she has a buddy. Not attractive as her. I had to come up with a smooth pick-up line. Water can give you worms, you think? No, it was water might have worms you, don't know where it's from, that matters cause, it works. They were appalled right, no. I'm etching, I would love water not a pond in the backwater of Cambodia. I knew that. Never did I know, they were already cool. They had boys. Too. Not for one they liked them, I could tell. They're punk rockers and I'm a grindhead, over metal. They might, like Mincecore so much. I think they cut in for palling around with us. The Mincecore and grindcore thing is up for grabs. She tells me she plays in a band. Rhythmic Asylum I know, now. That left unchecked. I hear Gary is your lead singer, you think? But no, I actually have to know that guy. Spoke to him once as a shrink or prophet. In Thomas Starr King, middle school. I guess his name. That's my forte. Guessing people's name right. I'm practically psychic. What's more is he's a Mexican beaner that tries to be the level of punk rock to be rebellious. Enough about him. Paulina hardly enjoys that guy. She thinks she has to have evil supervillains as friends just like I do. Not that he was there. In my debate, to hang out at and on benches. Knowing I'd come along that, you have them. I said something like, never be a slouch, that's to test time I cannot care. Like Michael says can't care is creative, if he stole it. The way I can grasp it, the metalhead / punk rock guys abducted me. I was already faded. Paulina finds out. I'm actually high as a kite. Even after. And they wonder if I like Mincecore. Perfectly. To tie over all I came back, and she didn't tell me. But she was sad the 3 days were up. She didn't dog cut self it. Now I'll explain dog cut self is saying something to the future. No one thought of yet that they want to happen. I think I go back to talk to her online for a while. I'm happy when she's on. I knowing it's my last chance to get the desired life I value. All on my own. That's to make ends meet. That's my collective mind process at Trade Tech, and I go out with a bang. The knowing of stuff written in writing is portrayed not by self. It's an anagram, by such living beings ponder to know. Whilst life living is apart and takes place very comforting, in words. Written too much, the extent of transaction we come across in our daily lives. Never falter and go through the same routine day in and day out. To catch up to love one day. I digress. The fact we've sewn the fabric so time stands still. During those 3 days meant a lot to me. Making up the rest of my life has meaning to ponder. I second guess at hope leading the life that I end up with. Without condolences we fathoming the truth. But the real truth, Polly knows he's immortal among all of you that love life. And enjoy stuff the tree has to offer to make up, not by mere glimpse of hope. Fall far from the tree. Never to stay an apple away, like the doctor ordered. Making life a brand new tree is someone amongst ourselves, no meaning, the life it went. Meaning doesn't come from nowhere, says I in the apocalyptic age. We sound sincere enough to value other lives, not mention them. They pass a law of trial and error that we, ourselves, have little hope or to little value. None the least we value above all else, our own lives, we let up until this day.